the legendary late-night diner hidden in Taipei's Shilin Night Market. At precisely 1 a.m., this legendary late-night food stall opens its doors. It might sound a little absurd, but the later it gets, the livelier the place becomes. Every night at midnight, when the shops on this street close for the day, a group of staff dressed in black begins their midnight ritual setting up their food stall. Fresh ingredients are carefully sorted and neatly arranged, ready for the night's feast. This humble stall offers 17 freshly stir-fried dishes. Only one, the shrimp and scrambled egg, costs 150 Taiwan dollars, while every other dish is a uniform 120 Taiwan dollars. No wonder it's packed with customers from the moment it opens until the last dish is served. At 1 a.m. sharp, the night market stall officially starts serving. Two skilled chefs fire up their stoves. First, they use intense heat to evaporate any remaining moisture from the wok, then scoop in a generous amount of rendered pork fat. Every dish here is cooked with their homemade lard, a traditional cooking method passed down through generations that ensures rich, authentic flavors. Nutritionists advocating for low-fat, low-oil diets would be completely ignored here. As the lard melts, the chef swiftly collects the fragrant golden fat for later use. Then, with practiced precision, he tosses a handful of fresh shrimp into the wok, briefly blanching them in hot water until half-cooked. Despite being the head chef, he still takes on the most labor-intensive tasks without hesitation. Next, he ladles a generous spoonful of freshly rendered lard into the wok. He then pours in a bowl of beaten eggs, seasoned with salt and pepper. With a loud sizzle, the golden egg mixture cascades into the hot oil, like a waterfall, instantly solidifying into soft curds. The chef swiftly sprinkles in a handful of freshly chopped scallions and gently stirs the eggs counterclockwise with a metal ladle, allowing the lard's rich aroma to seep into every bite. In just a few seconds, the liquid eggs begin to firm up. At this moment, the chef adds a splash of soy sauce for seasoning, before lifting the wok off the stove, setting it aside temporarily. With a never-ending stream of customers, one batch of scrambled eggs is never enough. The chef quickly grabs another bowl of egg mixture to start the next round. Meanwhile, his fellow chef, stationed at the high-heat cooking area, is busy deep-frying chunks of chicken until they turn golden and crispy on the outside, while locking in the juicy tenderness inside preparing for the next dish on the menu. Back at the main station, the chef does something different this time. Instead of serving the half-cooked eggs immediately, he adds the previous batch back into the wok, mixing and tossing them together. As the ladle scrapes against the wok, the eggs gradually turn firmer and more golden. Finally, the first dish of the night shrimp and scrambled egg is complete. The chef swiftly plates it, and just as it's ready to be served, the tattooed server steps in, drizzling a homemade sauce over the top. With 5 plates stacked effortlessly on one arm, he moves through the crowded stall with ease, a testament to the sheer intensity of this bustling night market. The next star dish, Kung Pao chicken. Hot on its heels, the second dish Kung Pao chicken makes its grand entrance. The chef begins by stir-frying onions, minced garlic, and spicy chili peppers in sizzling lard, filling the air with an intoxicating aroma. Then, he tosses in a few pieces of green bell pepper and 3 scoops of sugar with effortless finesse. Right on cue, his assistant brings over the freshly fried chicken chunks, crispy and golden. The secret to Taiwanese-style Kung Pao chicken lies in 4 key ingredients: sugar, rice wine, white vinegar, and soy sauce, creating the perfect balance of sweet, sour, spicy, and savory flavors. With years of expertise, the chef flips the wok skillfully, making the chicken pieces dance in the air like a well-rehearsed performance, yet not a single piece falls out. The crowd watches in awe, breaking into applause. Unlike the traditional version, this Kung Pao chicken omits scallions and cucumber. Once the chicken is fully coated in sauce, the chef adds a final touch, a handful of fried peanuts and dried chilies. With a final blast of high heat, the dish is complete, its bold flavors fully infused. If this dish were to be renamed, sweet and sour spicy chicken might be a fitting choice. But regardless of the name, the only thing that matters is how satisfyingly delicious it is. The fire and flavor continue. While all this is happening, the deep-frying chef is hard at work, tossing tofu strips into bubbling hot oil. The moment they hit the wok, sparks fly as the oil spatters against the flames. With a skilled flick of the wrist, he shakes the wok to prevent the tofu from sticking together. As they fry, the excess moisture evaporates, leaving the tofu crispy and golden, elevating its texture to a whole new level. Meanwhile, the head chef moves on to the next dish. He swiftly starts a new wok, tossing in a generous serving of juicy beef slices and giving them a quick stir-fry before adding a large spoonful of satay sauce. The rich, nutty aroma fills the air as the sauce melts and coats the beef evenly. Finally, he throws in a handful of crisp, freshwater spinach, stir-frying it over high heat, while gradually adding more ingredients in batches. Though this technique looks simple, it requires precision. Adding too many ingredients at once makes it hard to cook everything thoroughly, while adding them in stages allows the flavors to develop perfectly. As the broth reduces, the thick and savory satay sauce reaches peak flavor. One scoop of this dish reveals tender beef infused with the sauce's rich aroma, complemented by the fresh, crunchy greens. It's the kind of dish that makes you want to dive straight into the wok for more. Next up, the chef quickly prepares a pot of fresh pork kidney slices, blanching them in cold water. As they change from bright red to pale pink, he swiftly removes them before they overcook and lose their tender texture. Then, he swaps out the oil, this time using fragrant sesame oil. First, he stir-fries bean sprouts until they become crisp, then adds the kidney slices, gently tossing them until they start to separate. At this point, he pours in half a bottle of rice wine. Instantly, the flames shoot up, enveloping the wok in a fiery spectacle. This intense heat locks in the firm yet tender texture of the kidneys while keeping them juicy. With a final touch of salt, MSG, and a splash of thickened starch sauce, the sesame oil pork kidney is ready to be served. The kidney slices are both chewy and tender, carrying a deep sesame aroma, while the crunchy, juicy bean sprouts provide a refreshing contrast, making it impossible to resist. The heart and soul of Taipei's nightlife. For those accustomed to fine dining, it may seem odd to stay up late just for a roadside meal. But for Taipei's night owls, this nameless, signless food stall is more than just a place to eat. It's the heart and soul of Shilin Night Market.